This is KVUE News Daybreak.
A new challenger to Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. Why this candidate believes he's a better and smarter choice for Texas. And East Austin residents upset over the Austin School District's bond proposal. Why some former Johnston High School alum are saying the board is out of touch. Plus 7 U.S. Navy sailors killed after their ship slams into a cargo vessel. What we know so far about the crash. Well, good morning and thanks for watching KVUE Weekend Daybreak. I'm Jason Puckett in this morning for Jenny Lee. It's about 7 o'clock this Sunday morning, and for those dads out there, happy Father's Day. Speaking of which, let's get right to it to check on the weather to see if this is going to be a beautiful Father's Day. KVUE Storm Team meteorologist Nathan Gogo joins us with what we're tracking.
It's certainly going to look nice out there, Jason, but it's going to be very hot once again. Similarly, like we saw yesterday with high temperatures right around 100 degrees. Heat index values are going to become in the dangerous category for the late afternoon, as high as 110 for some of our area, especially east of I-35. So make sure to stay cool, stay hydrated as you're out celebrating your dad for this afternoon and evening. Temperatures out there now feeling pretty good, though quite mild. 79 at Bertram, 78 at Camp Mabry. Temperature is going to climb another 20 degrees or so from where they are now, as much as 25 in a few cases. 77 in Round Rock. We're at 75 in Pflugerville. Good morning to you folks. 76 in Driftwood down in Hays County. Elgin at 78, Cedar Creek coming in at 79, near 80 degrees. So here's our forecast for today. We'll see a lot of sunshine. Like I said, it'll look nice, just become uncomfortable for the afternoon. This will be about 5 to 10 degrees above normal for this time of year. Believe it or not, we're still in spring, Jason. Hard to believe, right?
It is hard to believe that.
Summer officially commences on Tuesday. But the good news is we'll actually be feeling slightly better as summer comes into play. We'll talk more about that in the full weather.
All right. Thanks, Nathan. Well, there's a new candidate for Texas Lieutenant Governor. Yesterday afternoon, Democrat Mike Collier officially announced his bid for the position in Round Rock. A large crowd of supporters were at the Sharon Preet Main Street Plaza to hear his plan to take on Dan Patrick in 2018. Now, he told the crowd they need a lieutenant governor that will bring Texas together, not apart. And he criticized Patrick on his priorities this legislative session, like the so-called bathroom bill. He says if he wins the race, his focuses will be on fixing Texas' economy and school funding.
We're very different in terms of public education. I'm pro-public education. I'm pro-teacher and retired teacher, and he's not. And we're very different points of view in terms of tax policy. I attribute high property taxes to the Republican fiscal policies. I'll show that on the campaign trail.
When you look at what he stands for, you'll see that he's trying to do good for everyone, not just for certain interest groups.
And Collier, a long-term accountant at PricewaterhouseCoopers in the Houston area, was the Democratic nominee for comptroller in 2014. He lost to Glenn Hager. He says his experience, though, running in a statewide race will help him in this election cycle. Well, Congressman Roger Williams is opening up more about the Alexandria shooting just days after the incident.
I was hitting ground balls on the third base side to our third baseman, Trent Kelly, and little did I know at that time that the perpetrator was probably 20 yards behind me.
Authorities say a gunman opened fire on Republican lawmakers practicing for a congressional baseball game. 5 people were hurt, including Williams aide Zach Barth and House Majority Whip Steve Scalise. Williams hurt his ankle running for cover.
Finally, it all ended. They said, "Get up, come on out here," and none of us were willing to get up because we didn't know who was telling us that.
The congressman says he and his family are thankful for the police officers who responded to the shooting. Barth is recovering with family. He's expected to be okay. Meanwhile, medical staff upgraded Scalise from critical to serious condition yesterday. Williams is expected to speak in Austin tomorrow. Well, a sad ending to the search for 7 missing sailors. Now the search and rescue mission shifts gears to a hunt for what went wrong. ABC's Todd Ant has the latest.
Late Saturday night, divers recovered the bodies of all 7 missing sailors trapped amid wreckage on the USS Fitzgerald.
It's hard to imagine what this crew has had to endure, the challenges they've had to overcome, but I'm extremely proud of their courage and dedication.
Now, Navy officials are trying to figure out how the 9,000-ton Fitzgerald and the massive 30,000-ton container ship from the Philippines collided. Multiple maritime trackers show the cargo ship making a giant U-turn approximately a half hour before colliding with the Fitzgerald.
These are 2 very sophisticated ships, and they should have seen each other.
The Fitzgerald, severely damaged, its midsection gutted. The destroyer likely out of service for a long time.
Fitzgerald is one of the most sophisticated ships in the U.S. Navy. It has a special radar and a special set of missiles. The Navy's going to want to backfill this very quickly.
Todd Ant, ABC News, New York.
The names of those sailors will be released once their families are notified. Well, this morning, Austin police are still searching for a group of people who are accused of stabbing a man in South Austin yesterday. It happened just before noon at Blund Creek Apartments. That's near the Walmart on East Benwhite Boulevard. Austin Travis County EMS rushed one male victim to St. David's South Austin Medical Center with serious injuries. And officers are now looking for 4 Hispanic males in their 20s. They're told that they may be driving a black SUV. Police are still trying to figure out what led to that stabbing. Johnston High School alumni and other supporters are now upset over AISD's decision to move the Liberal Arts and Science Academy to East Austin. Now, this is just one of the ideas being considered for a bond proposal that's expected to go before voters in November. But residents are upset, saying the school district is out of touch with the community, and bringing LASA, that has a student body of mostly white upper-class students, to East Austin is really gentrification.
Now Johnston High School, the pride of the East Side, is being taken away as well.
And moving these children to the other side of town and bringing in talented magnet programs that our children can't even qualify for because they're academically not educated for that is wrong.
Again, this hasn't been decided yet. The AISD board will be making that decision tomorrow on how much money they want to ask taxpayers for this November and finalizing that bond proposal. Some big and colorful changes underway for an intersection in Houston this weekend as crews work on Texas' first Pride crosswalk. Brandy Smith has more on the monumental project and what it means to the LGBTQ community.
Orange is a common color to spot at a construction site, but green, purple, red, yellow, blue?
This is a bold statement for the city to make. It's the largest city in the nation to have a Pride crosswalk. It's the first city in Texas to have a Pride crosswalk, and it just means that we're accepting and welcoming.
Like the actual process of painting each line, getting the project approved took many steps and a lot of community partners like Up Art Studio.
It's unreal. There were so many barriers and hoops that we had to go through to make it happen. So it's amazing to see the paint actually on the ground now.
Organizers chose this intersection because this is where 21-year-old Alex Hill died in a hit-and-run crash in January 2016. He was walking in the crosswalk here when police say this man, Emmanuel Salgado, ran a red light, hit Hill, and kept driving. The colors of the rainbow celebrate Hill's life and welcome others to the most diverse city in the country.
It's a beacon. It's a beacon to let others know that we're here, we're not going anywhere, and we're going to continue our fight.
That was Brandy Smith reporting. A Central Texas community is putting their strength to the test, all for a good cause. Dozens of people competed in Special Olympic Texas fire truck pull fundraiser in Round Rock yesterday. Now, teams like the Round Rock Fire and Police Departments attempted to haul a 55,000-pound fire engine 75 feet in the fastest time. Now, that's an impressive feat, and for some of the folks there, it was personal.
My daughter is actually going to be going to the national games in Seattle in 2018, and so it's a bit of that personal connection for me to help try and raise some money for the group that is also going to be going up there with her.
Organizers say they raised nearly $10,000, which will help thousands of Special Olympics athletes in Central Texas, and they're still taking donations. Just visit the link section on KVUE.com for more information. Well, those of you looking for a furry addition to their family this weekend, today is the last day for free adoptions. The Austin Humane Society offering free adoptions on all animals, and as of yesterday, the shelter says they're about halfway to their goal of 150 adoptions this weekend. If you're interested, you can stop by the shelter from noon until 5 today. Their address you see right there on the screen. And the Austin Animal Center also offering discounts today. Adoption fees waived on all cats and kittens this weekend. And get this, they have more than 600 cats and kittens right now for you to go there and choose from. Well, it's a recall parents need to be aware of this morning. What's in your kids' bathrooms that might not be safe for them? Plus a heartbreaking update to a deadly apartment fire in London last week, where we're learning about the building that's making residents angry. It's about 7:10 this morning. You're watching KVUE, where trust is earned. Those are protesters in London storming a government building as the death toll continues to rise in the apartment fire that happened last week. 58 people now who were missing are presumed dead, and that number can continue to rise. We're learning more about the apartment tower that caught fire, and there were no sprinkler systems in the building, only one staircase and no fire escapes. Now, even though the building went through a $13 million refurbishment last year, that is the case. Well, after days of deliberation, the judge has called a mistrial in the criminal case against Bill Cosby. ABC's Maggie Rulli tells us what's next in this case.
America's TV dad is walking out of the courthouse a free man, at least for now. After more than 50 hours of deliberations, the jury of 12 remained hopelessly deadlocked, and the judge declared a mistrial. When the decision was read inside the courtroom, we're told one juror fought back tears. Cosby leaned back in his chair and closed his eyes, while his team hugged and congratulated one another.
He walked into this trial presumed innocent. He leaves it presumed innocent.
But supporters of his accuser, Andrea Constant, say not so fast.
It's too early for him to celebrate.
The district attorney's office announcing they plan to take Cosby back to court, and they're going to do it as soon as possible.
So we will push forward.
The woman at the heart of this trial, Andrea Constant, accuses Cosby of drugging and sexually assaulting her in 2004. Her case is the only criminal prosecution against Cosby out of the more than 50 women who have accused the comedian of sexual misconduct and/or drugging. Cosby has denied all allegations.
It's a challenging case, but I mean, for many of the accusers, they think it's a pretty simple case, and that if we're other than Mr. Cosby, maybe there would have been a different result.
But Cosby's wife, Camille, says it's her husband who is being unjustly tried. A rep for the family reading her scathing statement.
How do I describe the judge? Overtly arrogant and collaborating with the district attorney. How do I describe the counsels for the accusers? Totally unethical.
Constant's attorney released a statement as well, saying in part, "We are confident these proceedings gave a voice to the many victims who felt powerless and silenced." Maggie Rulli, ABC News, Norristown, Pennsylvania.
Well, the Coast Guard is investigating if bad weather is to blame for a ferry crash in Massachusetts. 18 people now in the hospital after that ferry plowed into a jetty this weekend. Some of the people had to be airlifted to safety, and officials say nearly 60 other passengers had to be rescued. Well, President Trump and the First Family are at Camp David this Father's Day weekend. It is their first visit to the presidential getaway since taking office. Until now, the president has chosen to spend most weekends at one of his own properties in either New Jersey or Florida.